Next one up, we have Jean. If you want to make your way up on stage. Jean, we've also known now, 4 years, 5 years? I'm not quite sure. 3? Yeah, something like that. I remember when I found your book, Replacing Aging. It's really like a fantastic book. I really encourage you guys to read it. But now you've actually switched roles and we have you at ARPA H, which is so incredibly exciting. I could not be more thrilled about this. And please tell us a little bit about what ARPA H's mission is and how you're hoping to improve path to progress in longevity.
Yeah, thanks, Allison, again for having me. It's really a privilege to be here. And in the past at Foresight events, I've talked specifically about the work that I do. And I'm going to depart a little bit from that this time and talk about ARPA H a little bit. But just because, Allison mentioned my role has changed, my mission has not changed. My mission is to beat aging. And it's something I think we can do. We're not on track to do it yet, but I gave a talk this year, I think, as part of the seminar series. If anybody's interested in, learning more about the vision that I have for beating aging, the talk is titled, I think, Replacement as the Surest, Cheapest, Fastest Way to Beat Aging. Something like that, yeah. Yeah. So one of the things that Mark mentioned actually is that there's really a lack of funding in this space. That's one of the reasons we're not on track. There's a lot of technical work that needs to be done as well, but there's a lack of funding. And ARPA H presents a wonderful opportunity for my interests, but really for anybody who's interested in longevity. The mission they have is to improve health in general, and the approaches can be very broad. They could be brain tissue replacement, something I'm interested in, but it could be using AI to, have better access to medical information, better use of medical information, and anything in between. So it's very broad agency. So it's a really nice opportunity, and I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. They're very aligned with longevity and much of what we're interested in here. There are things that make ARPA H unique. One is their structure and how they operate. They don't operate by committee, which is a lot of how the government normally operates, including health science branches of the government, like the NIH. At ARPA H, there's essentially two people making decisions, the director and the program manager. So they bring in people that have a vision to solve a problem, and that person has free range as a program manager to get that done with the resources to back it up. And it's also has term limits. So, we're not there forever. We're there for like 3 years, and then they bring in new people with new visions, and they can work autonomously to make those things happen. So it's really a wonderful opportunity. There's different areas of interest for ARPA H. There's 4 mission offices. The one I'm in is the Health Science Futures. That's the more biology-based one, where the technology they're looking for is really going to be transformative and help people in a relatively short period of time. But then there's also these other categories. I won't go through them. It's on their website. But you can see how broad the interests are at ARPA H. So, anybody who's thinking about health has what they think is a transformative idea, but don't have the resources to get it to people in a reasonable time, like 5 years, should consider applying to ARPA H. There are different ways that you can engage with ARPA H. There's by submitting your idea for a program to get funded, for example. but you can also become a program manager. So they're still recruiting program managers. So the reason I went there is because I had started a company to accelerate the work that we're doing. Things were going well, but again, startup biotech companies getting funding is a struggle. And so ARPA-H provides an opportunity for you to accelerate your vision towards success. And so you can do that by becoming a program officer. I want this, I want to leave a lot of time for questions if anybody has questions about this topic or about ARPA-H or how you can get involved.
We love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Questions, comments? It's a fantastic opportunity. I really hope that you guys consider taking advantage of it.
So how many programs are in that category of life sciences, and can you talk about some specific programs that are underway?
So good question. I can't give you they have new programs coming out all the time. There's two ways in which programs are created. One is through the program managers, right? Program managers have full autonomy to create their own programs and make them happen. But they also have open calls. So anybody who has an idea can submit an idea for getting support from ARPA-H, and that becomes a program if it's selected. So you don't have to be a program manager, and there doesn't have to be a program created by a program manager for you to submit that idea. And so the total number of programs, a couple dozen? Yeah, a couple dozen and growing fast. And the type of program, so there's one called Print, where they're printing, the whole idea is to be able to print kidney, liver, I forget what the third organ is. Lung? Yeah, in like 5 years, right? So they're devoting a lot of resources to be able to doing that. There's also an eye transplant one, where it's, the medical field has been transplanting eyes for a while for aesthetic reasons, but this is functional eye transplants, so getting eyes to reconnect. So those are a couple of examples that I'm particularly excited by. But there's, again, lots of different programs.
All right, cool.
Thank you. Yeah, just a question. So just to get a scope of what, like the programs have money internally, program managers raise their money, and how much money is typically to these programs? What's the kind of range in which is getting invested into the work?
Yeah, the programs created by program managers have ranged from like $100 to $200 million. The programs that are started just from outside ideas coming in, that range is, anywhere from, 5 million to, I think, like 80 million so far. So they tend to be a little smaller because they tend to be more focused. But the programs created by program managers usually go to fund like mega teams working together to get a problem solved. And these are not grants, they're contracts, with milestones, and they're really geared towards getting the work done within a timely manner.
Thank you so much, Jean. That was
Yeah.
fantastic.